What up, world?
What up, friends?
It's your boy Jimbo.
And I'm that guy, Joe.
And welcome back to another episode.
Bro, it's 99.
Beer at a time.
It's 99.
99.
99 with another guest. We're back with another guest.
With a very special guest.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Dub Flow.
It's Dub Flow.
Bro, tell us who you represent, man.
Man, I represent Dub Flow, the Eagans Rats.
So, what for our audience that doesn't know, what is Eagans Rats?
Well, Eagans Rats is a late 1800s, early 1900s St. Louis Irish street gang. Yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah, man. That was one of my favorite things about the first time I ever saw y'all. Yeah, because, I mean, Avengers and the Rats, I mean, shit, how many shows have we done, bro? I don't even know.
Lot, man.
I don't even know how many shows, but, like, the first time I saw you, I thought that was, like, the hardest shit because my little bit of STL history knowledge that I have is, like I know a little bit about Thomas Egan and the Eagans Rats, and I'm like, oh, that's hard as fuck. But I always assumed that like one of y'all was like related or some shit.
Yeah, no, we got the blessing from the family actually.
That's fucking legit. That whole thing of you guys like you reaching out to the family. That's hella legit, dude.
Yeah, how does that happen?
Well, we had actually it was a guy that had kind of messaged us on Facebook and stuff, and he was writing some stuff and everything, but he had reached out because of the name and because his grandma had ties to Thomas Egan.
Oh, so you just like you'd already like branded the name like this is some dope shit. We're gonna use this.
And honestly, man, like when I thought to stamp it like that too, I didn't really do any kind of like background search to see if any other like local bands or anything. There was actually like a punk band in Rockford, Illinois that
for real.
Did music on their Eagans Rats, but they were already like defunct for like 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know.
I got you.
They weren't doing shit anymore, so they were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna use the name." And but yeah, that came about where. Then he had said, "Oh, you know what? My grandma said you guys got blessing to use the name. So we was like, all right,
that's
hard as fuck, dude.
That's fucking legit as hell."
But then he died though. Rest in peace to him. But we still got the blessing and shit.
Hell yeah, so, that's cool, man. That's some Prohibition era, real gangster STL shit. Like Irish gangsters mixing in with like politicians, I mean,
that's
you guys want to go on a deep dive, just do a little Google research.
That's like the old Tammany Hall, New York fucking era, like some old school gangsters that were legit involved in politics and like not just influencing, but like they had people that were in office.
A bunch of video game TV show type shit.
Yeah.
For real. For real.
Stuff that we don't think is real, but like you go back and read about Tammany Hall in New York and shit like that. That's some OG like where gangster comes from.
Oh yeah.
So we know Dub Flow, so I actually really just kind of met Dub Flow. I've met him a couple of times with Joe.
I'm sure you've been to his show.
Yeah, Joe knows Dub Flow through the music community, through Midwest Avengers and all that shit. And I'm just kind of a staple in the community. I'm not in any groups or I'm not a performer. I do some camera work occasionally.
Supporter.
But we also brought Dub out tonight because Dub is of a rare club that we have been adding people to over the years. And if you're a listener, you know that we are big mead guys.
Specifically,
Joe and I are big Viking dudes in general, but that mead
specifically.
And Dub is one of the rare people that we've run into that was already into mead before we met him. Whereas most people, we introduce them to mead. Dub already was into mead.
I was already drinking the mead, man. I was already about it. I actually had a buddy who used to make mead, man. His little homemade mead.
That's how you got introduced?
That's fucking dope.
Not necessarily how I got introduced, but definitely how started getting, the meat addiction.
Like actually trying to, it is kind of like a weird addiction, right? Like it's a select few of us that get into it. And for me, mead was always one of those things like you read it, you heard about it in TV shows, books, and shit. But until we met the four brothers, I had never tried it.
Right.
I knew what it was. You heard about it all the way from Egyptian times to Viking shit. But I'd never tried it. So, tonight, we are going to try some of the Four Brothers mead that Dub has not tried yet. Now, we have the standard. We have the Odin's
Yeah, we're going to run down the line.
We have the Odin's just the standard, your gold standard, just standard mead.
This is how we get initiated.
This is how you get initiated.
So, are you a veteran supporter?
Yeah, man, always.
That's part of why we love these guys.
Yeah. So,
and because they fucking found us.
this-
Shout out to Four Brothers.
Yeah, shout out to Four Brothers.
Forever loyal. Skull.
Let's go.
Horns up, baby.
Welcome, Dub Flow.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Odin's is that's the all the time.
Yeah, the OG.
My very first experience ever with mead was here in St. Louis area. With somebody who knew a guy who fucking knew a guy that made it.
Right.
And so he brought like 2 crates of just wine bottles recorked with mead over to my buddy's house. There was like 2 or 3 different flavors.
Yeah.
He was selling for like $20 a bottle. My friend bought like 4 bottles. I ended up
John McCullough.
I don't know.
I
I actually don't even remember this dude's name because this would have been like 2009, 10.
Okay.
Like around that time. I hadn't been in St. Louis too long, like a couple years.
I think that was before he started making.
So Dub,
that was my first experience. But what
you-
I was gonna say is that it's strong because it's fucking like, it's kitchen fucking mead.
Now my first taste of mead, man, was pretty mild actually.
Really?
It was some Renaissance fair mead.
Oh, okay. So it's probably pretty good.
Very sweet, very laid back on the alcohol. More so for the mead experience, you know.
More
That's
so
what I love
that
about these guys.
Yeah, more so that the Ren Fair people could be like, "Oh, cheers!"
That's
to
what I
mead.
love about
And not the people with real swords pulling the swords out.
Yeah.
the not actors.
But that's what I love about our guys, our Four Brothers, man. Is it's got all that delicious, tasty, sweet flavors, but it's fucking mead though. It is not like 8%.
This is the shit that was in a
15,
Viking
16%.
horn. This is the shit that was in the Viking horns.
Yeah.
The horns.
I love Odin's. Odin's and AC are always my like favorite all the times. I think the blackberry is my favorite, real sweet one.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, I like the Ironside, man. Me and the old lady drank a bottle of that the other
No,
day.
Bjorn's Ironside is fucking
that
incredible.
batch changes.
Bjorn's
That
Ironside.
batch isn't always the exact same, so
I've
some of them are
noticed
better.
that, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the crazy things that I love about mead is where beer and whiskey and all this other shit, part of it has to do with alcohol content, part of it has to do with the mass production to where you can grow your barley, your wheat, your whatever under the same conditions repeatedly, no matter what, and you can get the same result. Whereas the mead relies on the bees and the honey.
Right.
So you can try and have your own field and you can try and have your own hives, but no matter what, it's going to change season to season a little bit. No Odinstreffen is going to be the exact same as last year's Odinstreffen because the bees are going to change a little bit. And that's one of the things that makes it fucking cool.
Plus, we've talked to them.
The variety that you get, even and the flavors you're already so familiar with.
Yeah.
And we've talked to them about it. They it's kind of impossible to only get honey from the one place. So they try their best to keep it like Missouri farmers, but it's not from the exact same farm every single batch.
Even if you wanted to own your own field of flowers and have your own hives, it's still going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's what's dope. But I wanted to ask you, so you're STL born and raised?
I'm not actually, man.
You're not? Where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta. I moved up here.
Okay.
ATL.
Yeah.
So how long you been in St. Louis?
The majority of my life. I'm 32 now. So.
Okay.
Since
So
11.
I'm trying to do the math right now.
okay, no. So you were how old when you came here?
11.
Right on, dude. I'm from Boston. I was born here, but I lived in Boston until I pretty much moved out immediately, and I was in Boston until I was 10, and I've been here most of my life. Lived in Massachusetts again as an adult for like a year, but other than that, like I'm STL.
Right.
Do you consider yourself like? Is there any part of you that's like, no, I'm ATL or you STL?
No, man. Yeah, man. I've spent the majority of my life in STL, man. So I'm definitely STL.
Hold on. I accidentally fucking.
Why you touch something?
I didn't mean to, dude.
Did you see the time? I know it's right around 10.
Yeah, we got the recordings. We're good. Rob can figure it out. It's not a big deal.
Back in.
So, you're STL. Like, this is your identity. You're STL.
Yeah, man. I've spent the majority of my life in STL, so I'm STL. The problem is, man, is like, I was born in Atlanta, so I feel like I can't ever really claim STL hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I've always dealt with identity crisis.
I'm with you, bro.
You're also in the hip hop community.
I'm a fucking transplant nomad.
Right.
You're also in that hip hop community where like that ATL tag is like it has some weight.
It does.
Whereas like
does.
I'm not in any sort of community where
that's
being
where
from
the roots
Boston
come from.
fucking
It
matters
is where the
anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
well, you know,
other than the Irish part of me, but.
Some messing funny motherfuckers from Boston.
But here's the thing: is like I found out recently, and if you're a watcher or listener, you know that I found out recently. My blood is from Iowa. My birth mother was in Kansas, and just randomly happened to have me give birth to me in St. Louis, and that's how I wound up with a St. Louis family.
This story's glorious.
So the story is that this fucking story's wild.
This is good. This is
The
good.
story is that my birth mother got knocked up in college by like a military dude. She was on like a girls' trip weekend in St. Louis. And none of her friends knew she was pregnant. They were all going out in St. Louis. She goes, oh, I don't feel well. As soon as they left the hotel, she went to the hospital, gave birth to me, put me up for adoption, and had the hospital, this is the 80s, had the hospital move her to a non-maternity ward. So when her friends came to visit the next day, they didn't know she'd had a kid.
Wow.
Then, then fast forward 33 years, I get on 23andMe and I find out I have some relatives. Like especially when you're adopted, or if you've never really looked at family trees, like percentages never mean anything.
Right, you're not thinking in terms of that.
Yeah, you're not thinking in terms of that. So I see somebody on my tree that's like 12%, and I go, oh, that's got to be distant. But no, once you actually think about it, you're like, cousin. No, that makes so. My cousin reaches out to me. And he goes, hey, I think you're my cousin. You know, our grandmother always told us that there was a cousin we didn't know about. We're pretty sure that's you. And I go, oh, well that. And then I Google it and I go, oh, 12%. Like that makes sense. That lines up. Right. Okay, fast forward a year. And a year later, I find somebody that's showing up. It says my niece. And I go, well, that doesn't make sense age-wise. Like, I know that don't make sense. So I reach out to my cousin and my aunt, and they're like, no, that's... Like, my cousin who's female reaches out to this girl. Because I kind of didn't want to be weird. Right. You know, we live in those times, right? So we come to the conclusion, like, that's my half-sister. Turns out my half-sister's 10 years younger than me. And so now it comes out that when the family was like, oh, there was a cousin that we didn't know about but knew about, that wasn't me. That was my half-sister. I'm the deep, 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 dark family secret that nobody fucking knew about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fast forward to a year later, you're a stand-up comedian. No, I'm just
Well, they always say, like, a lot of the comedians say, like, there's some trauma and
it's like a villain origin.
And he signed his contract with 23andMe as a spokesperson whenever.
Well, actually, no, they did offer me. They reached out to me and they're like, hey, your story's... And this was before my half-sister.
Would you like to be on a commercial?
Your story's really fascinating.
Have you ever felt like a mistake?
And my birth mom is why I'm not able to be a spokesperson for 23andMe.
She's got to sign off.
The whole family. I have talked to the whole family. The only person that still hasn't reached out to me is birth mom.
Shame.
And they've all talked to her.
Shame.
And she's afraid to do it. And it's like, Bro, I'm 35. I'm not looking for money or nothing validation.
Just trying to exploit you, mama. That's all.
I want this documentary. God damn it! Like,
oh, guys, let's do this
off
second
my TV
mead.
career.
Let's do this second mead. So this mead, look at notice the change in color. Look at that.
Oh, look how dark that is.
So this is Asgardian Enchantment.
That's
mead.
as dark as the blackberry is.
Yeah, it really is. Mead with chocolate and vanilla.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I took a little sip because it was in front of me.
Yeah,
got to.
it's hard.
I
Not
felt
to.
bad. I felt bad.
Salud.
Salud.
Fuck, that's
Super chocolate.
Fucking delicious.
This is probably one of the sweetest meads I've ever had. But me as a person, anybody who really knows me knows I don't really like sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely can't drink a lot of it, man.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like you can have a glass, but you can't have two.
Yeah,
So it's getting too overly sweet.
Right.
Well,
Especially if you fill that up.
Yeah.
You do a whole one.
Yeah.
You definitely not trying to do
But this is very sweet, but I could drink 2 or 3 glasses of this. It's
The-
not overpowering.
The beauty of this, and I can attest to this, is especially if you have an air sealed cork, one of those ones you pump air out of. Mead is more shelf stable than wine is. Like wine, even if you have the air pump thing, it's getting bitter and vinegary within 2 days, 3 days. This shit, dude, I had a bottle that sat on a shelf that I had air sealed. Like a month later, I was like, "Oh, let me try that," and I tried it. I was like, "Oh, it still tastes the same."
Yeah.
It's just kind of like honey.
Yeah.
You know,
it can sit.
it can sit.
Forever.
Yeah, that was one thing. So we are going to get into brewing really soon. We basically have everything that we need. We just need to buy ingredients, get a recipe, sterilize our shit, and get to it. But I've been researching a lot because even though the process is fairly basic, the more you get into it, the more things get specific. So, like, obviously, you can make an IPA, but if you want to make it different flavors, you got different hops to use at different times in the process.
Phases.
But then you also, it gets technical because then you have a juicy IPA, a light IPA, a hazy IPA.
Dry hopped.
Yeah, and it's the same thing like a Kolsch, very specific temperatures and stuff. So I've been, like, researching, just kind of generally looking at, like, what's it going to take for different things. And started looking at mead, which we kind of loosely talked about with Dan from Four Brothers, just to get some ideas and advice. But mead can get pricey because honey's not cheap, you know.
That's
but
what
I looked at. I didn't realize how fucking easy cider is. There's this guy who has all these fucking recipe videos on YouTube where he just takes any type of store bought juice. And just makes it into a cider, bro.
I'm from Atlanta, which means I'm from Georgia, bro. I drink probably every flavor fucking cider there.
Okay,
I didn't realize that, man.
You're from the South.
Sake seems easy too. It's just a long wait period.
Now I know that Georgia is not the one that's known for moonshine, but you are in the South. Have you had that, like, real legit, like, white lightning?
Yes, sir. I've had a little taste of white lightning. Not a lot. I was young. I was very young. Like I said, I moved up here when I was 11.
Yeah.
But I lived primarily a lot of my time down south in Atlanta. I was born in a little town called Rome, Georgia. It's very...
Yeah, I know Rome.
Very bumfuck.
Yeah.
Yep. All my other family's from Clayton. It's in Rayburn County, little town called Tiger. If you're familiar with the movie The Deliverance, that's where it was shot. That banjo kid works at Walmart.
Owns a Walmart, son.
Missed opportunity not giving that greeting motherfucker a banjo, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, tourist attraction, right? Like, I took my homie down there, man. He hated the movie The Deliverance.
Does anybody like Deliverance?
Yeah,
like,
I guess not really. Yeah,
no.
everybody's uncomfortable by it.
It's kind of like Seven. Like, it's a great movie, but do you really love it?
Right.
No, it's fucking disturbing.
And that's
hard to watch.
That area, man. Like, you get down there and you're like, yeah, man, Smoky Mountains, this is beautiful, right? And they're like, fuck yeah. And you're like, yeah, man, 100 waterfalls within a 100-mile radius.
Yeah.
That's awesome, right? They're like, fuck yeah. And then you're like, Deliverance was shot here. And they're like, fuck, no.
Fuck nah.
They just start feeling like real dirty and uncomfortable.
One of Joe and I's trips that we want to make is, you ever watch Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Current Heat.
Yeah.
Where they train, you can go climb that hill.
Right.
So one of the trips Joe and I want to make one of these years is like go down and climb Current Heat.
We're into that shit, dude. We do rucks. We haven't done one in a while. We were talking about earlier. We haven't done one together in a while. Shit, like, you know Castlewood?
Yeah.
You ever been hiking in
I know
Castlewood?
Castlewood back and forth.
Right around the corner?
Nah, man.
Well,
I've never been. I usually don't come out this way much.
There's
so.
a
I
state
hear a lot
park
about it, though.
close
It's a real
by.
nice park.
It's like a 3-mile hike. It's not crazy, but there's like good views and shit. And there's like a real good incline.
It is crazy to the extent that there's like some of the steepest stairs in Missouri there that like.
Oh, when you go around the other way,
Yeah.
the stairs will get you.
The
I like
stairs will
going
get
down.
you, or the
Yeah.
hill.
But the hill isn't no bullshit either.
Yeah, the hill's no bullshit either.
But you know, we always take that route. So, you know, pulling into Castlewood when you're going that way, that's like the third parking lot
Yeah.
on your right.
Right.
Well, like the first and second parking lots, directly across from them
yeah.
is a whole nother trail.
Oh, dude, I've done every trail in that park. I
And
know.
I have never been down that one.
I
so
even know
we
the
went
secret
down
trails.
I love how everybody has one park. They're like, I've been in the assholes and elbows.
that. Yeah.
All right, dude, I know the fucking.
I've
secret
Especially
Other-
Missouri people, bro.
Yeah.
They love their
Other
fucking
than
parks,
like the
man.
pavilion park area, that main trail that everybody takes is the only one that I've ever really fucked with.
Right.
I've walked along the creek beds, like fucking
Yeah.
around in the water. Like I've been out there getting drunk. We've taken coolers out there, been in the creek bed getting fucked up, especially when the water's high.
Yeah.
But like these other trails, when you're pulling in that main road off on the left, way before you get to that parking lot,
Oh, yeah.
I never fucked with those.
Yeah.
I was out there, man, for probably like 2 hours, and the whole time I saw one dude running, reminded me of some David Goggins shit.
Yeah.
Cause he looked run down, miserable, like it was fucking hard.
I used
He was
to-
going though, he was going, and then 2 people on bikes
Don't drink
at
that
different,
egg yolk for nothing.
at different,
I used to
at different
fuck with-
times, 2 different people on bikes, and both times I thought like bad motherfucker, cause they weren't right. It wasn't like me and you taking this hill. No, it was just a dude out there by himself, fucking hitting this narrow trail on this
used
big
to-
ass hill.
I used to.
Grudge.
I'm walking. I'm walking with like 50 pounds.
Just
Right.
I used to
Because
fuck
like I
with-
said, we do rucks, so I had a 50-pound ruck on my back, you know, and I got the dogs with me too, so I got obstacles, but I'm walking,
Right.
just one pace at a time. This motherfucker's riding his bike.
I used to fuck with literally every trail in there because I went to that park every day for probably a year for 2 hours.
Oh shit.
And fucking found every trail in there. One of the coolest things ever happened there, though, I was walking along the main river, like the main trail, and an old fucking dude stopped me, like an old guy, and he goes, "You got weight in that pack?" And I go, "Yes, sir, I do." And he goes, "You doing Marine training?" I go, "I'm not allowed in the Marines, but yes, more or less." And he goes, "I don't give a shit if you're in or not. You doing the real work." And shook my hand and kept walking. Kept walking. I go, "Well, shit, that just validated everything I'm
Tapped
fucking
him on the
doing."
nuts and said, "Hoorah!"
Hoorah! But yeah.
Yeah, we
So
need to do another one
where
pretty
in
soon.
St. Louis do you like spend more? Where do you live? Out in St. Chuck?
No, I actually live in South City right
Oh,
now.
you're in South City.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So I work
I
down
live
in
in
South
like
City.
Bevo Mill area.
Oh, so I work
Okay,
at
off Grabways.
I work at Ford. Right off of
It's shitter.
Kings Highway in Filer.
All right, bet. Yeah, man, I live right down the street from
Okay, yeah.
He said that shit.
I just don't like I just Kirk Ford. I don't like saying my company name on the air because
Yeah, I don't
I'm
blame
drinking.
you. I don't
But
blame
yeah, no,
'Cause-
dude, I'm right down there.
you. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, shit. And
I'll say my company names because we're drinking for a cause. I'm a club member, and part of my monthly membership goes to donations to local veteran
my company,
charities.
These are the things like my company doesn't actually give a
And-
fuck. Some of them
and I'm
listen, but,
drinking-
like, it's still one of those things. I sell cars, and it's like,
I drive by your work every day.
Yeah.
No
I
shit.
literally
Yeah.
live right down the street from there.
And to mention, I didn't even
I
talk
live
about
down
it.
off of Dahlia, man. So right
Oh,
behind
okay.
the BB
Okay.
Coopers. You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
BD
Used to be Nelly Glenn's.
Yeah.
yeah, man. I live right behind.
I know where you're at.
That's real Southside shit.
Yeah, Southside.
So see,
And don't get me wrong, though, man. I've lived in the city for like I think like 4 years now. You know, I'm not like a city boy. I grew up in the city, so I'm
Yeah.
But I went to high school in the county, bro. So.
where'd you go to high school? Okay, St. Louis question. Where'd you go to high school?
Oh man, I hate that question too, man. Cause I went to high school in the county. I went to Segment, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love
All
not
right.
being from
I went
here.
to that all-white school.
See, I
love not being
I-
from here.
trust me.
'Cause when
Hey,
people ask
trust
me, I'm like, oh,
I
I'm
was
not
more
from
white
here.
than you. I went to DeSmet, and my junior year going into my senior year, our newspaper had at an article that we were adding 10 black students in the incoming freshman class,
Right.
which was increasing our black student attendance by 33%.
Oh.
10 kids increased it by 33%.
Oh.
But I think my graduating class had like 3 black kids. And it's hard,
had 2.
man. Like, because I grew up in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Like, the neighborhood I grew up into, white kids were the minority.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we had 4 white kids in my neighborhood. One of them never left the house. Ever.
Yep, that's why I
Robbie
tried.
Ball never came outside.
Stoop kid
Shout
won't leave
out.
the stoop.
Yeah, shout out
That's-
Robbie Ball for that.
That's what I try to tell people. Like when I first moved to STO from Little Rock, from Southwest Little Rock.
Right.
When I was like 19, going on 20, and people would try to like warn me about stuff and tell me certain shit, and it's so funny because I'm like, unless you go to like the east side, or very specific neighborhoods in the north side, I'm like, all this hard shit y'all talk about really reminds me of like Southwest Little Rock. I'm like, we drove these fucking streets. Like, I'm like, I'm desensitized to this shit.
Now,
All right, Joe, let's pour up this last mead real quick.
Yeah.
But I will say,
I haven't spent no real time in Atlanta.
I would drive more places in Atlanta, not even spending more time there than I probably would in St. Louis. St. Louis is wild, bro.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more there's a
good-ass
lot of
neighborhood.
division.
Yeah,
And
man,
a lot of lines drawn.
Yeah,
That's
there's
another thing that blew my mind, right? Because being from the South, everybody's like, "Oh, I bet there's a lot of segregation." It's like, nah, man. Southern hospitality kind of blurs that line all day.
Right,
You
and,
know about Southern hospitality.
and on top of that, like the real, that's why I try to tell people around the Midwest, because St. Louis racism has always pissed me off,
Man,
because
it's
it's
crazy.
real low key,
It
and
is.
it's always behind your
It's
back.
snake shit.
But in the South, any real racism in the South,
Blame.
it's right there.
Like,
yeah,
rebel flag
you're
on my
not
pants.
you're not
Yeah.
cool with it, but like it's right. They're
Right.
openly
You know,
saying
Yeah.
fucking hateful
And,
shit
you know, and
in
I-
public,
I
and you're
think
like,
part
oh,
of-
it's like
yeah.
that.
Oh,
But
okay.
you know,
But I think we already just kind of covered why like the Midwest shit is a little more covered up. It's not because I like grew up hating one group or another. It's because I didn't grow up with that. You know, like
Right.
I didn't. Now, me personally, I have a different experience than a lot of people I know and I grew up with. Because a lot of people I grew up with went straight from high school to college, finished college in 4 or 5 years, went into corporate America. Me, I met Joe working at fucking weekends only. I had gone in and out of college for 7, 8 years, worked like blue collar jobs,
Right.
did
ate the shit.
mixing and knowing people from different communities
Right.
was nothing to me.
Especially at the warehouse,
for my
bro.
entire life. Whereas a lot of people, if you went to the vast majority of people that went to Seckman, or you went to one of the private schools, or you went to Parkway West or Parkway South, like intermingling, it wasn't a thing, and so you weren't like straight up. That's why I think like what you call the racism is different because it's not hateful. It's like
No, I mean the
you're
actual
othering people,
racism.
and it's more like I have these. You know, I might, if I went to Parkway West, might have these slightly racist tendencies. Not because I actually hate Mexican or black people. It's because I didn't grow up around it.
Right.
So when I run into it, I'm like, I don't. You know, people don't know how to act, or
No,
they
but-
have these opinions from movies, TV, or whatever. Like the one black kid that was bussed in. I remember that. I'll never forget this. Now, granted, I bought weed
Y'all
off
probably
this.
said some fuck shit.
I bought weed off this kid, so like he was feeding into one stereotype on his own anyway. However,
It's his own fault.
However,
he asked for it.
However, I go to
that hippie dreaded white kid alone.
no, there's a black dude, and I met up with this kid in a parking lot. He's a black kid, and I go, and he goes, "You Jim?" I'm like, "Yeah, you OG." He goes, "Yeah." And I get into his
You
fucking-
Tebow.
This better be in your state.
I get into his fucking I get into his goddamn.
T-bone?
I get into his like 2-year-old fucking Nissan Xterra, and I go, and he's got his white buddy in the passenger seat that's weighing shit out for me. And I go, "Hey man, I gotta ask, why they call you OG?" Dead serious. He goes, "Because man, I go to Parkway West and they don't know any other black people, so like I'm just the OG." And I was like,
Some of the
no,
black
and
person they
I'm
know.
fucking laughing my ass off because
Right.
this one I'm working in restaurants and shit, and
Wait
like
a minute.
It don't like I said, I intermingle my whole life. But when I go, why do they call you OG? And he goes, because I'm the only black person they know. I'm like,
I gotta jump in. So mid 2000s in Xterra.
Yeah.
What color was it?
Oh, this shit was fucking yellow.
Yes, I fucking knew it.
Straight up,
I knew it.
So, yeah,
I knew it.
And that was what I was trying to go. And that was the best part. Is I go, where do you live?
Because that one that wasn't. That's the cheap one.
So that was the best part. It's like, you know, like
that's the one that cost $13K.
These West kids, these Fargo West kids are calling him OGs. The only black kid they know. You're thinking he's gonna say that he lives in the city and gets bussed in. He goes, "No, man, I grew up right around the corner." And you're like, "Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. They don't. Like, I knew you. Since I saw the Xterra, I go, oh, this motherfucker's from around here." Right. But you're the only black kid they know, so they call you OG, and they're like, "Oh, we know a black kid. Let's call him OG, original gangster, because like." That way we sound cool. We know a black dude. I'm like,
and we can say that.
You motherfuckers.
For me, it was hard, man, because like I said, man, I grew up in where white was the minority.
Yeah.
Most of the people in my neighborhood were Hispanic and Latino. The other portions were mixed Asian, bro. So like we had a lot of Vietnamese kids.
Those Vietnamese kids like
Asian people in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. It's like in Little Rock, there's Asian people, of course, but like in Little Rock, I don't know exactly why, but like there's a fuckload of Korean people.
Right.
Like that's the dominant population.
Koreans too, man. One of my first girlfriends was Korean, bro. Her name was Yuna. She had a sister named Yumi. Her dad made her practice piano, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She had posture.
Man,
she had that posture. She had a fat ass.
We could not talk. No. Yumi had the fat ass.
Oh!
Yuna had the pretty face.
All right, bro. Let's get some notes on this on this mead real quick. This is This is like the s'mores.
Yeah, because this is basically the chocolate, but then they went marshmallow and graham cracker.
Dude,
Is it
my brain
graham clacker in this?
Is it my brain fucking with me, or is it almost like a smokiness?
That's my rap name, aka graham clacker.
Is this my brain fucking with me, or does it have a smokiness to it? Like I feel like my brain is just be like,
it's got a campfire smell.
I feel like, but is that my brain fucking with me, or?
But it definitely has a sugary, like graham cracker, brown sugar smell.
No.
That tastes like a campfire.
I get a campfire out of that.
Yeah, it's got a smoky flavor.
So like how
you're right.
How like the allspice tastes like Christmas.
Yeah.
This tastes like camping.
But is that your brain fucking with you because you associate graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate with a campfire?
Because once again, man, I didn't like sweets a lot. So when I went camping, I usually skipped the s'more.
Okay.
But this still has smoke fire.
But
outdoorsy.
But have you ever had, instead of just a Hershey's bar, you use a Reese's cup?
Man. No.
I've heard that's fire. I've never tried it myself. I've heard that.
Home and pop.
I've heard this. I've heard this crazy Boy Scout white boy privilege type fucking
It is
snack. I've heard of this, but I've never tried it.
This ain't a privilege.
It's not real. It's not. It's more expensive than the chocolate.
This is
but
not,
only white parents.
Let me correct.
Would do this for their children.
Let me correct this. This is not a white privilege thing.
Trailer park parents are not doing this for their children.
I need to correct the record on this. This is not a white privilege thing.
Treats.
That is
you getting the Reese's.
That is a fat kid privilege. Because
the
fat kid was
from like suburban white kids.
Yeah, but the fat kid was the one that was like, "Yo, I tried the Hershey. There's a fucking Reese's in the cooler. Let me go try that."
I don't know. The people that have told me about this just kind of seem like the kind that their mom like pulled this out and was like, "Slam mom trick," and I'm saying, only white moms are doing that.
So I got some other fat kid
shit.
I'll get on some other fat kid shit here in a second, but we need to wrap up the mead.
America.
So let me get a 1, 2, 3 from everybody.
Ooh, okay.
You gotta explain to me what you
like a dog show.
Oh, if
third,
so
second,
we can do a best in
first.
show. So here's what we always do. This is what we do for our beers all the time. We got a 3-tier rating system, and there's a spectrum for each one. So it's not hardcore black and white, but we have our meh. That's always like either bottom of the barrel or just like fuck it. We're probably not going there again.
Right.
We've got okay,
goddamn bog myrtle.
but okay that's where the majority of things are because you can have a very very low mediocre okay where it's like. barely makes the cut.
I mean,
or you can have a strong okay where you're like, dude, I'll drink the fuck out of this all the time. And then when it crosses that line where I gotta go and buy more, where I'm not gonna forget the name of this, where I'm like, oh yeah, it's fuck yeah. It's fuck yeah, like undeniably.
Yeah.
So that's our 3-tier system. And then sometimes if we have an extra that can't be denied, we might do a best in show that may not be a fuck yeah.
But
it
for
still
this,
gets
we
the
only
spotlight.
we only have 3 bottles. So I just want your third, second, first.
So I gotta rank them though. Like,
Yeah.
I can't have like a 1 and a 2 and a 2.
What's your
And a
1, 2, 3?
deuce in this mother.
What's your 1, 2, 3?
Man, like I almost want to be like, can I taste the chocolate one again, man? 'Cause
Let's taste it again. Let's do it again. We got to go there.
I still got some s'more. I got a good amount of s'more left right now because I thought we was gonna not be.
That's right. You just got to put it down.
I just had we're
gotta
using
put it
a new program, ladies and gentlemen. So we got to chop some shit up. We're at 25 minutes right now, and it'll stop.
That other one was like
it'll stop at 30 minutes.
11,
so
12-ish, something like that.
The only reason I asked 2 minutes, like I'm having such an issue, bro. Like normally, man, if you asked me beforehand, I'd be like the s'mores would be bottom tier for me.
Right?
Just because I don't like marshmallow.
It's actually kind of hitting though.
I'm not a
like
big marshmallow dude.
I like chocolate. I like graham cracker. Marshmallow's where you lose me in the s'more game.
Well, I can fuck with it in a s'more, but see, my problem is...
So you don't like Peeps?
No, I fucking hate
I love
Peeps.
a Peep.
See, as a natural fat kid, as a fat-ass little boy...
You had the Peeps Pepsi?
No, I don't like. See, that's the thing. It's like I don't like Peeps flavored shit,
And that's usually
but I
the
like a
marshmallow
straight
thing. I
up
don't
Peeps
like
cookies
marshmallow
and
flavored
shit.
No,
Oh,
just give
dude.
me Peeps. Just give me a Peep.
Moon pies.
This.
Man, nah. But see, as a fat-ass little boy, though, being a little chunky butt all the fucking time,
Right.
I could have a bag of marshmallows and, like, munch marshmallows.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I hate that
I
shit.
cannot.
I fuck, like, maybe in a chocolate or something if I'm
Cloudy,
feeling
sugary.
like, let's do something real sweet
do it.
and sugary. But, yeah, I don't fuck with marshmallow like that.
This fucking meat is delicious.
Yes,
bro.
it is.
Like I said, I would put this probably bottom stack, and now that's why I want to taste the chocolate again because I'm like, I don't know if I could pick really right now.
We've got a shootout.
Yeah, it is a shootout. It is. It's a showdown, and this is hard too, man. Because I told you before we started this, the OG, the Odin,
Odin's, baby.
man, that's my fave, bro.
So
Real-
here's what
that
we're
shit-
doing.
I love
That was me for a long time until I don't know,
We'll-
man.
hold on,
I just
we'll
had that
meld
one
this
day
together.
where Ace here, I was like,
We'll meld this together, but
see, I
I
like the
have to stop the
blackberry.
recording real quick,
Okay, yeah,
just because
yeah.
this is gonna 30 minutes.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah, you good.
stay
So-
with me.
Be back in a minute, and we gonna give you our ratings.
Back on.
Back on.
So, all right. We're going to fucking rank these motherfuckers up. Did you drink that bitch down?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do the back-to-back. We're going to find out what is more favorable. The chocolate with the vanilla, because understand this is the exact same chocolate mead mixture. It's just that this one, they're doing the vanilla. The other one is the marshmallow graham.
Right.
But it's the same. It's honestly, from what they tell me, it's literally Odin's.
Yeah,
It's just made
everything's
with.
Odin.
Yeah, it's just
That's the
made.
All-Father.
Yeah, and that's what I think is
Hell
cool.
yeah, hell yeah, that's the All-Father.
That's part of what's cool about how they do it,
Did
man.
you guys try that World Tree one, the maple one?
Oh yeah,
I think-
you're gonna seal sip.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think that's sweeter than the.
Oh,
yeah,
you
s'mores
really
is.
seal
No,
is
you know
definitely
what's the
sweeter.
shit?
I think that was sweeter
Well,
than the
no,
s'mores was.
I'll get into it in a second. First,
And that's weird for the maple to be sweeter than the chocolate graham cracker.
But I mean,
marshmallow.
maple
It
is
depends on the
basically
maple, you know?
sugar. I
Yeah, it
mean,
is
you
just
know,
straight
because if
sugar,
it's
yeah.
quality syrup that they're putting in there,
Remember when I did that
That's-
Zorak tag?
yeah, dude,
I
that
was
was
sipping
fire.
that, I was sipping
That was
that maple,
fire.
bro.
Oh, we gotta pay.
I already have my
haven't
decision.
painted.
Man,
I've been
I got some
drawing
good
and trying to
bang
work
right
on
now,
shit,
bro.
and I'm not dope yet. But I'm like, I know
So
I gotta start
I
painting.
I took
Dang,
one
bro,
sip and
let's
I have
go
my
ahead.
decision.
Okay.
I took my sip. I have one. I already have my decision.
You know what? I think I do too.
And then, I don't know if it's the same. Mine might be a little controversial. So I'll go ahead and I'll start. Number 3 is going to be the chocolate and vanilla.
Okay.
Number 2 is going to be the s'mores.
Oh, I thought we
And
were gonna have the same
number
thing.
one's going to be Odin Prefen. I mean, I love the OG that much.
I
But
do
I
like
did
it.
not expect. I'll be honest, because I have not. So Dub has not tried the s'mores one yet. I had neither. That's my first bottle of it. I expected that to be my bottom of
that's
the barrel. I honestly did not expect to like that. I loved it. I think it hit.
I fucking love
So
it.
my
It hit.
ranking on average on a normal day to day is the exact same as yours. But on this here night, I have to say that Jarl's is my number
And
one.
which one is Jarl's? That's the s'mores?
Yeah, that's my number one.
That's your number one.
Upon tonight, on
tonight.
average, on the regular,
All right, so
if you put a gun to my head, it's the rest of the days. Odin's is always number
So
one.
what is number
but
2 and 3?
I just want to drink the rest of this fucking bottle
Man,
right now.
dude.
Odin's is going to take number 2, and the
Freya.
Asgardian
Asgardian.
is going to take number 3.
And it's crazy, man, because I'm going exact with your picks, Joe. Man. and I like
Okay.
chocolate, bro. Like,
So you're going
man,
Jarl's
the Jarl's
Reserve.
is number one for me, man. Tonight, only tonight though, man, because the Odin's.
I'm
is usually
saying that
OG,
because
man.
as soon as
Like,
we cracked this and we had the first sip of it, I'm not going to lie, I was thinking to myself, I just want to drink the rest of this fucking bottle.
Dude.
And I've had this before. You got to remember,
Yeah.
both me and Alex both had a bottle of this, so
Yeah.
I've had plenty of this. But there was something about, maybe it's just this batch and this bottle, I don't know. There was something about that first glass that I'm like, no, I want the rest of this.
it was
It's hitting.
delicious.
It's
man.
hit.
So let's go back to it.
It was like
Okay,
the
all right.
perfect blend.
Hold on. I gotta call a timeout here.
It was really a perfect blend.
Nah, man.
Ladies
keep it
and,
rolling.
ladies and gentlemen, I might be changing
Keep
my
it
mind. They may have
rolling.
swayed me.
We swindled our fucking way in.
I feel like it's
They
the
might have
perfect
s-
blend of
they-
chocolate.
they might have swayed
marshmallow,
me.
graham cracker, and
I
campfire.
I
man.
was
The
gonna
graham
go- hold
cracker
on.
taste
I-
is
so-
like, it's like just right. It's not too much. It's like that.
So
little-
I was gonna. I
Everything is
originally
subtle.
said Odin's.
I don't get a
Raven,
lot of
but
marshmallow taste, but that sweetness,
Yeah,
I,
you know,
I might.
maybe
be
that's
it.
why I
that
like
rich sweetness.
I might have been swayed.
it. You think you
Y'all
could
two
sway?
might have fucking convinced me
You're
that
gonna
that's
switch
number
up?
one.
You're gonna switch
Yeah,
up the ranking?
guys, it's Jarl's Reserve for the win.
Man, the Jarl's Reserve.
It's
no
the
joke,
star of the show. It's the fuck yeah of the night.
It is
That's how it's going
it is
down.
The fuck yeah. of the
So
night.
to this, we must give a big skull. Skull.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah. Woo!
And this is actually, I'll tell you honestly, that one of the
Ah, it's
reasons
so
this
good.
was
It is
still in the
really
box.
It's great, man.
I hate to say it, one of the reasons this was still in the box because I had
You underestimated.
I had 9 bottles.
Right.
I brought 4 over, so I
I
drank.
told you.
That's a hard pick, man. When you got 9 bottles, that's a hard
Yeah,
pick.
and I was like, well, these are the 4 bottles. Well,
Oh, that's
hung on-
right. I fucking remember
I hung
now.
on to Odin's Raven because I've had that 100 times. I was like, all right, well, I'll hold on to that. And then the other 3 bottles, I was like, well, I don't know about these, and especially Jarl's Reserve was the one that I was least, 100% least excited to try
I
Jarl's
thought
Reserve.
so too, man. I was like, this is I read them. I'm like, this is gonna be my least favorite. I can
Yeah.
tell you right now.
Yeah.
Only on sweetness alone.
Yeah.
Well, in
Subtle,
February,
man. It's so subtle.
February was the strawberry.
Oh, the
mead.
Valkyrie. This
When they dropped that in February, I thought I
like
was going to
that,
hate
man.
it because I knew it was going to be super sweet,
Right.
and it was. To me, that out of all their meads, that is the one that tastes the most like a traditional wine.
right.
But I really liked it. I thought I was going to fucking hate it,
I feel
bro.
like strawberry. It just walks hand in hand with traditional wines. So.
Yeah, but I just I'm not a big wine drinker. This is my wine.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there isn't a type of like Riesling, Cabernet. Like there's not a Chardonnay. There's not any that I really love.
Oh, I'm a
My
big.
wine-
I'm a big
this
wine
is
guy.
my
Big
fucking
wine guy.
wine.
My
Love
wine's either rice or honey.
Right. I know. I know. I've told this dude a couple of times. Like, all right, cool. We'll get some local
Yeah,
bottles.
some wine.
We'll get some local bottles, and we'll do an episode. Because there's 2 reasons why I don't like wine. One is just because I'm like, it's not bad, and I can clearly taste the alcohol,
Right.
but it always makes me want to drink like actual fucking alcohol.
Right.
You know. But
I like
also.
the buzz, man. but-
That's where I was going. Also, wine hits me pretty fucking hard, and I'm very much a lightweight.
When you get
And if
that
I really
red
throw
wine-
down, like say we drink 2 or 3 bottles, oh dude, the hangover. The
Oh,
only
yeah,
thing that
hey,
gives me
wine
a hangover
hangover.
like wine
sulfite. I mean,
is
that's the
fucking
sulfites in the-
vodka. It's part of the reason why I don't get fucked up on vodka.
So
dude, vodka gives me gnarly hangovers,
that's
dude.
what I was
like,
getting
I'm
at
talking
earlier.
like my body hurting. Like, I'm like, why is my shoulder sore? I don't even
dude,
know.
That's what I was getting at earlier. I have this weird relationship with vodka. To where I was saying I drink
for our peoples.
When I will go into these weird phases where I'll drink a lot of martinis. And I've been in one of those kicks lately. So last night I had 4 martinis. Okay. Didn't have a hangover this morning. Didn't feel shitty. But granted, there is salt and electrolytes and shit
So I had 4 martinis.
But I was pretty fucked up when I went to bed.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
think about this. I use 3 ounces of vodka per martini. So that's 12 ounces of vodka. If you lined up 12 shots of straight vodka and I did them within 2 hours, I would be
just a little
fucked.
drop of olive juice in each one.
I'd be fucked up. If you gave me 12 shots of vodka in 2 hours, I'd be fucked up.
Right.
I do.
All of a sudden, it's fluent Russian.
I do 4 martinis and I am unfazed.
But
I can sit there and you will not know.
But are you a dirty martini guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of how
it. Yeah, the dirty martini.
Yeah,
But
but
see,
like it's still
why
weird.
Bond drinks his dirty.
It's still fucking. Well, Bond also drinks them. I shake them as well.
Yeah.
And that's
shake
the other part of the
fuck out of
shaking
my
is it
martini.
dilutes it with water.
Right.
But you still think about it, even diluted. In 2 hours, that's 12 ounces of vodka.
Yeah, it's a good amount.
That's a lot of vodka.
That's a good amount.
If you were legit to just give me 12 ounces of vodka in 2 hours,
Right.
I'd be fucked up.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I do martinis, and I'm like, I don't feel anything.
That's
like,
why martinis.
I mean, I feel it. I'm not gonna lie.
my wife will be like, "Are you okay?"
3 martinis.
Yeah, I'm fine. What are you talking about? Like, no,
Yeah.
I don't feel anything.
3 is but my problem is, and you know this. I'm glad you don't know this. Like first-hand worst case scenario, but I've told you plenty of times. Gin is my one.
Yes.
I've always heard growing up, especially when I was
got
like
one,
late teens, early 20s, I would hear from
Everybody's got
OGs,
one.
I can't drink whiskey. Whiskey makes me fight. Everybody's got something.
What, Dub? What's your liquor?
Every time I've been like fucked up, not drunk, no, fucked up on gin. It's bad
Dub,
stories.
what's your
Bad
liquor?
stories. It's
What's
been
your
probably
liquor that you
over
won't
a
touch?
decade.
Everybody has a liquor they won't touch. What's your liquor?
No, I don't necessarily have one I won't touch.
But I
got one
I'll touch them all.
I got one I shouldn't.
When
Okay,
the
what is it?
occasion
What's the one you
calls
shouldn't
for
touch?
it.
Man, and Joe's gonna hate me for it, bro. But it's tequila.
Oh, that's not uncommon.
No,
though.
that's
Bro,
not
it's
uncommon, though.
That was my first thing I ever got drunk off of, and I was fine. But for some reason, dude, in my late age, makes me angry, bro.
Yeah.
I fight,
Dude,
like a
it's-
motherfucker. I cuss everybody out, and dude, I've never had a blackout experience in my life.
No shit.
Really?
Other than on tequila.
Really?
I was dating.
Until
I was dating this chick for a very short period. She brought over about like 1,800, bro. We just went,
Don Julio.
we went shot for shot on that motherfucker, right? So about like half the bottle, and then was sipping on it there, And the homie came out, dude. Known him since we were 13, dude. So very, very antagonistic in my life.
There you
Knows
go,
how to
yeah,
piss
yeah.
me off, Dude set me off, bro. I started cussing him out, right? That caused I was in like a frat house situation. I had like 5 roommates. At the
I know
time.
what you're talking
So
about.
like cussing them out made my other roommates come out, right? And I
Yeah.
started calling
Yeah.
them out. Apparently, I don't remember this.
And all of a sudden, fuck everybody.
Dude, exactly. And
Fuck
dude,
you.
And dude,
Fuck you.
I woke up the next day, right?
You're cool.
I woke up the next day, dude, feeling fine. I'm chilling. I'm good. I feel great.
Hey, who wants breakfast?
No hangover, exactly. Right? And everybody's like avoiding me. And I'm like, what
God.
the fuck's up with this, right?
Yeah, you the house enemy.
Yeah, and so like it's later at nighttime. It's night. We had a little fire going in the back. I come out in the back porch. I'm having a drink. I'm bumping Limp Bizkit, Eat You Alive. Ironically. Totally by
Yes. OG Limp Bizkit.
And then my homie's like, I was like, yo, man, what's everybody's problem? And he was like, you don't remember nothing about last night, do you? And I was like, well, I remember we was kicking it, we was drinking tequila. I remember old girl asked me to go get her toothbrush. I said, I ain't doing that shit for you. And then I remember going downstairs and passing out and waking up feeling fine. He was like, oh no, man, you cussed everybody out last night. Like, you told us all how you really feel. He was like, honestly, I feel like you owe my girlfriend an apology. and then I had to go do the awkward apology thing, right?
Oh, dude.
Oh no, you didn't fully know what you were apologizing for?
Right, yeah. And I hit her with the apology and shit, and she was like, hey, well, I feel like, you know, a drunk mind speaks a sober heart. Or, how's the saying go?
Right.
Yeah,
A
drunk words are sober thoughts.
Yeah, drunk mind speaks a sober heart or some shit. And I was like, look, I'm not apologizing for the shit I said. I'm apologizing for how I said it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm sorry from where I was coming from.
Look, I was drunk on tequila. I obviously meant every word.
I'm just sorry for how it affected you.
Dude,
that's
honestly,
all.
but that's the thing is like we all have had, especially those of us that really like had a youth and had those parties. Like my best friend, the guy that was supposed to marry me, the only reason he wasn't the minister is his wife went into labor. That like when we were getting married, I nearly killed that motherfucker.
What an excuse.
He and I, like, and there was a time where, I didn't touch vodka for, 10 years. Until the pandemic.
So is vodka your liquor, though?
Vodka was my liquor.
Okay.
Now, I don't really have one. But young me had a liquor. And it was vodka.
It is vodka.
The pandemic hit and I got into martinis and I'm cool with vodka.
Right.
But when I
was
young,
how you conditioned yourself during the pandemic.
Start drinking margaritas. I'll be cool.
But when I was in my 20s, I got so fucked up.
Margaritas is like the tequila martini.
Yeah, I got so fucked up on Smirnoff one night.
If you make them
while my buddy was driving me home, I tried to rear naked chokehold him while he was driving.
Oh, shit.
And I threw him out of his own car.
Wow,
and I stole his car and drove my ass home.
Perfect, straight
up. And then
you pop up in the back seat.
I thought, dude, I was
shadow knows.
This is all shit that I pieced together over the years. I was so angry and fucked up. His dad showed up when this all happened. He called his dad. His dad showed up at my house. My parents were out of town for 2 weeks. His dad showed up at my house. I walked out with a fucking axe in my hand.
Damn.
Thinking I was defending my fucking territory.
Right.
And yeah, dude, I was ready to do some shit.
And he's like,
so
this boy's drunk.
Yeah, dude, I didn't touch.
Don't call police. He'll be alright.
I didn't touch vodka.
He just fucked up.
Oh yeah, don't blame me, dude. I haven't honestly touched tequila since. I've had a couple shots here.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple shots. I ain't gonna be throwing hands in the parking lot.
Yeah.
See, tequila is probably one of my most casual liquors. Because when I go out, especially St. Louis City, fucking prices everywhere you go is so expensive for good beer. Yeah. So I'm either buying super cheap, shitty beer, and I'm not drinking liquor, or I'm pretty much only drinking liquor. Yeah. That's normally how I operate when I go out. So if I'm only drinking liquor, because I'll take shots when I'm drinking beer sometimes, and then it's going to be whiskey. Because whiskey, for me, whiskey and beer always mixes okay.
Yeah.
I don't just mix any liquor, but whiskey and beer is okay. But I'll just drink tequila on the rocks and have fucking 3 or 4 of them for that whole couple hours that I'm there, and I'm good.
I love tequila. That tequila I brought over the one day.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, and we drank that bottle.
That shit was aged in. It was
like a couple $100 on that bottle.
It was Don Julio aged in. Was it Macallan barrels?
Some kind of
Macallan so, like I said, in my late age, I became enemies with tequila. Before that, dude, I loved Don Julio.
See, that's interesting because it was my young age.
You pushed it to the limit.
It was my young age that was combating.
So smooth, you know.
It was good. It was my young age that was combating with liquors. In my older age, I don't combat with them anymore. But when I was young, dude, I stopped drinking. I legit after that day, I didn't drink vodka for probably 10 years because I legit almost killed my best friend and I in a car accident because thank God he was in he took a side road. I was like, hey, take that road to get to my parent because I lived there long enough. I was like, take that side road. Nobody's there ever. and I rear naked chokeholded him while he was fucking driving. Thank God he was only doing 20 miles an hour, and I was
don't know
60.
why. For whatever, because I'm fucking twisted. In my mind, I just see it animated, and I just see you popping up in the back seat.
That's what happened.
It's so funny.
The
in my
head,
it's so
happened.
Fucking funny.
It is. But dude, that's what happened. Like I legit,
man.
like I had some fucking residual shit that I needed to deal with.
I had some things to work out.
Yeah, I mean, years later, he and I talked it out, and like I had some residual shit that I needed to deal with. But it got to the and after that, I got sent to 3 different therapists.
Oh damn!
Not
And
sentenced.
and they all suck.
Yeah,
no, legit.
Right.
Like, his parents, my parents, like we were 19.
Right.
His parents, my parents talked, and I got sent to
Right.
3 therapists, and they all sucked. And I finally, the 4th one was like cool enough to talk to.
I love how like your parents were like, well, probably, and then his parents was like, nah, you probably should.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it was. We had the relationship to where his mom has always been my second mom.
Right.
So his mom
she
coming
knew
to
you.
his
She
mom
knew
coming
you.
to my parents and being like, "Hey, we need to get him in therapy," was not
yeah.
like a. It wasn't an overstepping of the boundary.
Right. It wasn't
It was-
like he went way too crazy.
Yeah, no, it
tonight.
was mom
Yeah.
talking to mom.
It
And
was like, hey,
yeah.
look, you know your kid, I know your kid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So to put it in perspective, like he and that buddy and I, when we were in high school, we got caught
Traveling on.
We got caught egging this girl's house.
Oh shit.
And we were spending the night at my
Fucking
parents'
heathens.
house.
Alright.
We were like 15, or we were 16,
God, I miss the
17.
glory days.
So we got caught,
You ready?
and his
not
mom,
quite.
when we got called
Yeah, I got
out,
like 2
we got back to my parents' house, and his mom was standing in the kitchen with my parents.
Just
and his mom just tore into us. And it literally
that's
halfway.
hold on, sidebar. That's when you know it's fucking
Yeah.
bad. When your parents allow another parent to be
it
like,
gets
you
better.
motherfucker!
Oh, it
They
gets
do
better.
the anime thing where they're like,
Right?
Halfway through her tearing into our asses, she stopped and she goes, "Jan, Greg, am I overstepping?" And they go, "Nope."
yeah, no. I think you're fucking going further in this honestly.
Have at it. And at the end of this, she goes, "Get in my fucking car. We're going over there. We're cleaning it up." This is like 2 in the morning. So like, that's how close I was with his family. Like I knew, right? So
Oh damn!
when
man.
his
Anybody
mom-
who can tell you
Right.
get the fuck in my car.
Shout
that's
out to
basically-
that
right.
mom.
So when his mom,
Shout
and
out
my
to that
mom-
mom for being
Yeah.
a real fucking parent.
Yeah,
So when
That's
his mom and my
beautiful.
mom
She's
got
a
together and
mama.
were
She's
like,
fucking-
"Hey,
She's a mom.
I think Jimmy needs some therapy," it was like, "Yo, you're not wrong." It wasn't like nowadays that shit happens.
It wasn't
and you'd be like-
unfair therapy.
Yeah, it was. It's not like nowadays where the mom would be like, "How dare you tell me what you think my son
How
needs?"
dare
It
you
was like-
run over my mailbox
Yeah, it was,
drunk?
yeah. It was like, no, like my mom and his mom were like, "No, yeah, you're right, Jimmy." needs
Stop
therapy."
projecting onto me.
Right.
But the
You're
first,
bad
like,
influence on my son. Go
the
to
first
therapy.
3 therapists, like I had some shit I
Oh,
needed to
man.
work out, and I remember the first therapist being like, asking me these questions like, just stupid questions like, "Do you eat red meat?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but like, and I'm like, "Yeah," but like, man, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I
Beef
almost.
is what's for dinner.
I was like, "I'm here because I almost killed my best friend and myself," and he's like, "Yeah, I understand that."
But what do you eat?
Do you eat chicken? And I'm like, "God damn it, motherfucker! Can we talk about me flipping out? Like, I lost my shit. I almost killed myself. Like, can we talk about that?" He goes, "Yeah, no, we'll get to that." "So, do you like white rice?" And I'm like, "Oh God, this motherfucker!"
Right.
Right? It just was, and it took 3 therapists before I finally found somebody who was like, "All right, so tell me what happened." And I was like, "Finally, somebody that just wants to know what happened," and I don't know what
Not
happened.
my lifestyle
Yeah.
choices.
Not my life.
Right.
It was like,
Not the fucking details.
yeah, finally somebody was like, "So what happened?" I was like, "Well, I tried to kill myself and my best friend on accident." And they were like, "Oh, let's talk about it."
Right.
I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's talk about it."
He said, but before, what did you eat for breakfast? God damn it. Son of a, you almost had me, man.
And finally, I got to the therapist that actually told me, like, "Hey, man, I think you need to stop drinking vodka." Like, I literally had a therapist who was like, "Well, it doesn't sound to me like you have an alcohol problem. It sounds like you have a vodka problem.
Right.
So let's cut
That's
that
what
out.
I told myself. I was like, you don't really have a drinking problem. You got a tequila problem.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, like they were, especially when we were in our 20s.
Gotta
like,
make some life changes, and
weirdly
that
enough, when we were in our
is the
20s,
change.
that's one of those things. Like weirdly enough, when we were in our 20s, that's accurate. Now, if I'm in my 40s and I'm like, well, this happened, they'll be like, no, you got a fucking problem.
Yeah, bro.
In your 20s, they're like, well, no, that's not an alcohol problem yet.
Yeah, dude, that's how I figured out.
Like
Circling,
if you keep trying to choke your friends.
Yeah.
circling
While
back
you're
around.
driving,
Yeah, if you're still trying to choke your friends in your 40s, we got a problem, but you're 19, so we're just going to hammer out the alcohol that was the problem.
See, for me, man, liquor, like, each one has a different effect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like
There's
whis-
just that one that's gonna give you nothing but bad stories.
Whiskey, I can go kick it. Obviously, tequila makes me angry. Rum makes me lusty, man. Like, I'm a lush.
Rum makes me fucking party boy.
Cocaine makes
Me
lusty.
too, bro. I'm taking my pants off.
I'm down for fucking, dude. I'm down for the more rum drunk I get, the more like my 17-year-old self comes out. I'm
it's like
down
me,
for
bro.
exactly, bro. I'm down for fucking everything. We can do everything. I don't fucking care because you know what? We're gonna get away with it, motherfuckers.
Dude, the last
That's
time
how I feel.
was rum drunk, I scrubbed my drunk uncle's back as he puked. and
You're like, oh man,
I had a good time, man. That's that rum drunk, man.
You know, my favorite
He's down
alcohol.
for whatever.
My favorite alcohol has always been cocaine. That shit makes me lusty.
on any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Well, no, so we have fucking cranked another 23 minutes.
We've done
Dub,
it, man.
we have a few things we want to get to on Dub. Dub, you want to talk about the origin of Eagans
Right,
Rise.
yeah, man. So one night I'm riding and I'm listening to 88.1 KDHX. They're doing the Today in St. Louis history, right?
Local as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were doing the story on Eagans Rats about during Prohibition, Jack Daniels moved his warehouse of whiskey up to St. Louis
Really?
from Tennessee. And when he did that, the Eagans Rats broke in, stole all the barrels of whiskey, and just distributed it over the city, man. Like,
No shit.
Gave the
Thomas
shit out.
Egan was the fucking G in
Robin Hood
STL.
style, right? And I was like, damn, that is so Robin Hood shit. We should name our shit Eagans Rats, which is kind of weird, man. Like, we do hip hop.
Yeah.
Rats kind of just, especially with the whole 6ix9ine shit.
Yeah, you don't want to call yourself
Right,
a rat.
Yeah, man.
Right.
We get a lot of flack for that, but it's like St. Louis
But
Tide.
you know what you make work though that I've always loved?
Right.
The Rat Pack.
It is the rat, and
Because that transcends. That's
Yeah.
different.
and that story, man, is why our first album, Year of the Rat, which we put out during the Year of the Rat and the Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
Oh shit, for
We-
real?
we had
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ah, that's fire.
Hell legit.
We had
That's
to call it Year of the
fire.
Rat. But that's why
For
the
real.
rat's on a barrel in a brown seal liquor.
That's
is
fucking
because
cool.
of that story, man.
So,
Fuck yeah, dude.
all right. So
That's
you get your
fire,
name.
bro.
You get your name. You've been doing hip hop. How long you been doing hip hop now?
Man, I've been rapping for a very long time, man. Like, me and my friends used to rap in Atlanta. Shit, man, we used to karaoke Outkast, and we didn't know the words, so we make up our own words, you know. And we were freestyling, but we were young. We didn't know that's what it was, you know. Been
Just
rapping
figure
a
it
long
out.
time. It wasn't until I moved to St. Louis, man, I started meeting other people who rapped and freestyle rap, and that's when I got really into it, pushing it hardcore, man.
Freestyles what really got you going?
So
Yeah, I was
That's fire,
freestyle.
bro.
Was my
I've seen you
first
guys
intro,
live. You're
so-
fucking legit live.
Still to this day, man, my favorite thing is doing topics, man. Because that's
Yeah.
the way that like nobody's like, all right, so let me get 5-6 people give me random topic to rap about.
Yeah.
There's no way I wrote that before I came. Like,
Right,
there's no way
right.
I wrote about muffin syrup, hamsters, and the Leviathan before I came.
The
to this
Leviathan.
point. There's no way I did that.
So I've seen you on
That's when you know it's
motherfuckers live. You're legit as hell.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks.
What I know you got some shit to plug. I want you to plug your
yeah.
shit right now, real
Yeah,
quick, as we're wrapping up.
But we got some new Eagans Rats music coming, but I also got a new solo music video that I'm going to be dropping soon. I haven't promoted it on anything else. This is the first platform I've promoted it on.
Dope.
Well, I guess
dope.
other than like Facebook, but I just did a little tease. I said, "What if I told you?" I said on the music video for a couple months now. This is the first time I'm telling you I got a music video.
Okay.
I'm going to drop it probably next month.
Okay.
And it's heater, man. It's heater.
Fuck
man.
yeah.
Shot by
Fuck
Art
yeah.
Yor. Dude's a fucking genius. And we just killed this whole little idea I had, and he just ran with it. Like, I was like, hey, here's a small snippet of what I want. And he was like, let me make a vision out of this. And
Do you have any upcoming live events that you're going to be at?
I don't think so, man.
Okay.
So then that says to me we need to get another show.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
honestly, like so far right now, like Avengers are booked.
And
we got at
where-
least
Y'all
one
been
show.
so busy, man.
We
And-
got like at
Y'all
least
been
one
so
show
busy.
for the next like
That Cola Lounge
3
video
months.
shoot
That was fun shit, right?
amazing,
Cola Lounge is
man.
fire,
Where-
right?
Shout
I
out
didn't
to
know it
Cola
was that
Lounge.
dope.
So,
man.
hey,
Shit,
dope,
that was
where
amazing.
is, can I get Eagans Rats on Spotify?
Yep.
Were you available?
You can get Eagans Rats on everything, man. Spotify, YouTube, iTunes.
Okay.
Pandora, whatever music.
And then
streaming
are
service
you on
use.
there for your solo shit? Is it just Dub Flow?
Yeah. You can find Dub Flow on everything too, and on my socials, Dub Flow on Facebook, dub.flow.2 on Instagram. Yeah, you can find me on everything, and my solo music as well.
All right,
Fuck
ladies,
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen,
and then
we're
it
wrapping
says
up
we
here.
need to-
We're gonna fucking
we need to get a
push
show
the
going.
fuck out of Dub Flow.
That's it. That's what I'm hearing is that Midwest Avengers and the Rats need to get another show
Yeah,
going. We
buddy.
haven't played one in a good minute,
Man, I want to.
but we played plenty.
I want to do a big piece, man, of like Eagans Rats versus Midwest Avengers, where it's like Avengers versus X-Men, you know?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You get
Have
with
us-
me and Joe,
have us stand
and I got
off
some
like a
video
fucking
ideas.
dance
Right.
off, like a dance off
Sick.
type, like face
No,
off type
you
shit.
get with me and Joe on that. I got some video ideas because I do a lot of the behind the scenes video for
I love that
them.
shit, man.
Fuck yeah.
I was on stage when Dan was on stage at
Yep.
Schlafly. So yeah, man.
With Open Up for Tech.
Yup.
Hell yeah.
I was at that show
Yeah,
too, man. I
shit's
rocked
fire,
on bounce
right?
that night.
Yeah,
I rocked on
yeah,
bounce
fuck yeah,
that
that's
I was
night.
on
That's
stage
right.
for that.
I was
Hell
wearing
yeah.
my
but
Good Medicine shirt.
Yup.
I was the weird guy
Shit,
creeping
bro.
behind the
Hell
drums.
yeah,
Like,
man. Hell yeah. I was
Yeah.
all right,
that
ladies
shit.
and
good.
gentlemen, we had Dub Flow tonight. A fucking
Brother,
phenomenal
Thank you for having
episode.
me.
Thanks for
Go
hanging
check
with
out
us.
Dub Flow. Go check out
Anytime,
Eagans
man,
Rats.
anytime.
Come out and check out fucking Midwest Avengers. We got some shit coming. May 7th. We got something we're filming. We're not announcing it yet,
Nah,
but
fuck that. But stay tuned.
but stay tuned. May 7th. We
Follow
got a
us.
date scheduled. Follow, like, subscribe, hit all the buttons. Fucking check out Dub Flow. Check out everything. Check out Midwest Avengers. Check out Four Brothers. We got some shit, motherfuckers. It's coming. We've been announcing it for a while. Let's go. Woo! Woo!